Hi, it's Ileana here. I would like to discuss today something interesting that happened on December the 12th. I had done a remote viewing of the Cigar Shaped Asteroid Craft, nicknamed Ileana, and I posted my results in the Secret Space Program closed group on Facebook. This is the results of my remote viewing. I'm going to read it out loud, and I'm one of the admins in that group. It's a closed secret space group, secret space program group of different veterans who have been in the secret space program, who are SSP experiencers. That's what the group is about, and we post stuff to the group that's related to the secret space program. So, and I have their permission to post this because the group is secret. You can't see this outside the group. So that's why I have a screenshot of my remote viewing session that I posted in that group specifically. So what basically it's titled Remote Viewing of the Cigar Shaped Asteroid Craft, Ileana. There are tall beings in stasis inside this vessel. They have silver, whitish skin, wearing silver jumpsuits that are tightly fitted. They also have whitish blue hair. The stasis units are protected by energetic force fields, so intruders cannot open the stasis pods. The species type are subhumans called the Dorians. That's the species in the stasis pods on the vessel. The term subhumans means they are subspecies of humans. That is what the term subhumans describes. To come from human genetic stock, Dorians are tall, slender, with pale complexions, being blue-eyed. There was an interface session done with the female, Ileana, the Dorian, with the blue hair. Apparently their ship was damaged in several solar storms out in space, and they boarded the ancient Space Scout vessel probe that looks like a cigar. There were no occupants on that probe prior to the boarding. So the Dorian ship, it was egg-shaped. It was a silver metallic craft that was egg-shaped, and it was damaged during the solar storms, so that's why they boarded the cigar-shaped ancient craft, because it was just drifting out in space. It didn't have anyone on the craft, so they found it and they boarded it, because the egg-shaped craft was not salvageable. It was damaged beyond repair. That's why they boarded the ship, the cigar-shaped craft. So the Dorians, they are traveling to a planet called Stasis. They have been out in space for close to 1 million years. The cigar-shaped ancient scout vessel ship is much older than 1 million years. It is close to 1.5 billion years. The Dorians' original planet is Zeldeka. It was becoming too populated with people, so they were branching out to build other colonies on planets. It will take another half a century for the Dorians to reach Stasis while they are in stasis. And here's a big note. There were SSP, Secret Space Program exploration units that boarded Ileana, but they cannot open the stasis pods as they are protected by electrical fields, so the pods cannot be opened without proper DNA coding sequences entered into the energy fields. So this was done on purpose by the Dorians, so nobody could open their stasis pods, because they're traveling to colonize a planet, Stasis, so they don't want to be woken before it's time. They're on a long journey, so they don't want to be woken up. Like I said during the remote viewing, it will take them half a century to reach Zolaris. That's what the information I got during my interface session with Ileana, the female Dorian with the blue hair. Now, I'm not very good at drawing, but I was able to find approximate reference images of what Ileana looks like. Now, the original image of Ileana on the right-hand side, it had blonde hair. So I went in and colored in the light eggshell blue. I colored in the hair according to my interface with Ileana, how she looked like. I wanted to get as close as I could to her actual hair color, which is silverish blue. It's not really blonde. So eggshell blue, like soft blue. So I did my best. And the ship on the left-hand side, it has this brownish reddish color to it. And it almost looks like reptilian skin of some sort. The outside of the hull of the ship, it looks like reptilian skin. That's the best way I could describe it. Brownish red, like reptilian skin. But it's not reptilian at all in nature. It just looks like it. So that's what I was able to see during the remote viewing session. And I put both images with the description. So, and I had done originally the remote viewing on December the 12th, and I posted the results of the remote viewing on December the 13th at 10:40 p.m. in the evening, when I actually had all of the information. So the Secret Space Program exploration units, they were sent in to study the ship, to see if there was any advanced technology they could retrieve off of the ship, and they couldn't access anything because the navigation systems are locked down, so they can't really access any data, technological data from the ship itself. It's locked down, and there's not much they can take technologically wise. They're mainly interested in the stasis beings that are in stasis, the Dorians. So it is now a couple of weeks later, fast forward a few weeks later, and there's an article that comes out from Divine Cosmos by David Wilcock and Corey Goode. And it's called Stunning New Briefings, Mass Indictments, Targeted Arrests, and Disclosure. And Ileana is part of their disclosure in their article. Now, I was stunned to see this information. Now, this article came out on Monday, December 25th, 2017, and this is what Corey Goode states. This gets into part 3 of our update. Basically, the information that he's just put out is very close to my remote viewing session, exact information to my remote viewing session. And what happened is also I had saved the images of the Cigar Shaped Scout vessel. I saved it in a file called Ancient Builder Race, and the image of Ileana with the blue hair, I saved it in a file called Ancient Builder Race. So that's quite ironic because they're speculating that this is Ancient Builder Race technology. So their article goes like this. This gets into part 3 of our update. Just to give you a teaser of what Corey is feverishly writing up for part 3 of this new series. This object apparently is an extraterrestrial spacecraft. And they're referring to Ileana, the asteroid-shaped craft. It's a space vessel probe. And it's an exploration probe, basically. That's what it really is. The MIC-SSP, as we said, has craft that can travel throughout our solar system and has had them for many years. According to Sigmund, They have already flown out to this object, landed on it, and managed to find a way inside. Just like I said in my remote viewing session, the SSP exploration units did board the craft, and they did get inside it, and they did try to open up the stasis pods, the Dorians stasis pods, and they couldn't, because there is an electrical protection field around the stasis pods, and it needs certain DNA sequencing codes to open the pods, which they can't. Corey was lucky enough to see actual video of the interior. This was one case where I definitely felt jealous. Most of the technology in the object was long since cleaned out. I wonder who cleaned out the technology from this object. Probably the interplanetary corporate conglomerate has boarded that vessel before October, before it was spotted and cleaned everything out. That's what I think happened, because the interplanetary corporate conglomerate, that faction of the secret space program, they have their own bases on Mars, and they're the first ones that intercept anything that comes into near Earth orbit, and they're the first to investigate. So I suspect they've cleaned everything out. Nonetheless, there is a stunning treasure trove of super advanced goodies inside. You betcha there is, the Dorians. Likely ancient builder race technology, the MIC SSP now feel our technology will make quantum leaps by examining, studying, and emulating this technology. They have advanced chronometric dating systems that suggest the object is over 1 billion years old. And in my remote viewing session, I said 1.5 billion years old. And the Dorians are 1 million years old. That's how long they've been out in space, traveling to Zolaris. And like I said, the Dorians are not original to Oumuamua. They boarded the craft when their own egg-shaped craft malfunctioned during the solar storms, and it was several solar storms worth of damage, not just one solar storm. This ties it back in with the enigmatic ancient builder race, which apparently left ruined glass-like pyramids, domes, and obelisks all over our solar system. And ironically, I had my remote viewing information saved in a folder on my computer titled Ancient Builder Race. Interesting. The Ancient Builder Race is heavily discussed in the second half of the Ascension Mysteries, based on reports from multiple insiders. Most excitingly, there are apparently 3 different types of beings in advanced stasis fields inside the craft. And like I said advanced stasis fields inside Oumuamua. I focused in on one of the race, the Dorians. I didn't see the other 2 races. I interfaced with just the Dorians, but I did see a lot of different stasis fields inside the ship, so there's a lot of them there. And apparently it's 3 different types, but I specifically focused in on the Dorians, because I guess I remote view what's of interest to me, and that was the Dorians in their stasis pods and stasis fields. But there were a lot of them, that's true. Written inscriptions have also helped to give us possible insights into this mysterious culture. Interesting. Now, I do know that these ancient type of exploration probe vessels, they do have different inscriptions on their ships, on their technology, on their probes, on their stasis pods. I've seen some of it. The L race has it on their ships as well, and it's in one of my presentations. So I can say that that's true. They do have inscriptions. I've seen it on the L race on one of their ships. Something similar. I know, I get it. This sounds crazy. Just remember what you read here. It may go mainstream a lot sooner than we think. Add it up. The MSN is already heavily teasing they have interstellar capable craft, that habitable worlds are nearby, and this asteroid may be a ship. Hidden chambers in pyramids of Giza and Kukulkan may have artifacts in them that directly relate to what we will find in Amuya, and that's true. So, very interesting stuff that they're talking about, and it sounds a lot like my remote viewing session that I had done on December the 12th and posted on December the 13th, 2017. So, either I'm a very good remote viewer, or somebody's looking at my remote viewing information and sharing things with Corey, Goode, and David Wilcock from the Secret Space Program group. Again, it's a closed group, and we usually don't post out stuff to the public, but this time I thought I'd share my remote viewing session, which I had posted to the group, in public because I do have permission from Penny Bradley, who is one of the main admins in the group, one of the original admins. So I asked her if I could share my remote viewing session, my original post, and she said yes. So there it is. I've shared it. I'm also going to show you my file document of where I had stored the Ancient Builder Race stuff. Like, I have a file here called Ancient Builder Race. And voila! Image of Ileana, and I changed the hair color. See? There you go. You can see it now. Voila. And going back, and blue. Here it is, blue hair. I colored it in to represent what I had seen, what Ileana looks like on Aumuya in the Dorian in the Stasis pod. So, and it's aptly titled Ancient Builder Race folder. Ancient Builder Race, there it is. I don't think it's a coincidence. And the ship with the reptilian type skin, the outer hull of the skin of the ship, this is the image that I found that closely represents what the ship looks like, the cigar shape, the elongated shape, but the front of the hull does not look right, not as it should in my remote viewing. So I went to the trouble of trying to draw in the front of the hull to represent what it looks like to me in my remote viewing, what it should look like. So I struggled a little bit to do that, and again, that's in the file folder, Ancient Builder Race. So the fact that David Wilcock and Corey Goode refer to it as Ancient Builder Race technology, that's quite interesting, because that's where I was storing my information, in the Ancient Builder Race file folder. And I know quite a bit about the Ancient Builder Race, and there's also quite a few hidden cities in the Amazon of Ancient Builder Race technology that's been left behind, ancient ruins of cities. So that's something else that I have in this Ancient Builder Race file folder. Because I've been exploring it, what I know. Just as a bit of a side note about the Ancient Builder Race stuff, there's a lot of their cities in the Amazon. hidden deep within the Amazon that will eventually be discovered. But I thought I'd share this portion of my information, my remote viewing session about Ileana. And I already knew that the SSB exploration units had already boarded the craft. I knew that on December the 12th because I saw it in the live action remote viewing session that I had. And I see it all live action. I don't see sequences of events. I see it in progress happening. So I saw them boarding the ship, and I saw them looking around, and I saw them focusing in on the Dorians and the Stasis pods and the electrical fields of the pods because they couldn't open them. So that's what I was focusing in on, and then I interfaced with Ileana on a second remote viewing session because I wanted more details about these beings and what the heck they were doing on the ship, because they're not native to the ship. They're not native to it, so they boarded the ship millions of years later, not during the original launch sequence of Amuya. So that was, for me, interesting. I wanted to know more about the Dorians, so I got the information. So again, I wanted to share this because, like I said, either I'm a very good remote viewer, and I've claimed I was in the secret space program as an asset with the interplanetary corporate conglomerate. So, and there's evidence, there's some pretty interesting information about that. Evidence, like I've even done Mars locations of the ICC bases, exact locations of where they are. That's my proof. I've mapped it out and I've published it. So, and there's this information that Corey Goode and David Wilcock have put out about what the SSP recorded when they boarded Ileana, the lower MIC, Military Industrial Complex. What those teams saw on that ship, and it's the exact same information that I have. So it's either a coincidence, both Corey Goode and I have ties to the SSP, and I can just remote view whatever I want to see and get information on accurately and exactly, and then, you know, put it down on paper and have facts about what I see. Or we both have ties to the SSP, and maybe somehow I was co-opted and actually participated in one of these missions of boarding the ship without fully knowing about it. That could have happened as well, so could have been there live in action. But I did remote view it, so and I saw it happening live. Maybe I was retrieving a memory of me going there and being there in person. That could be another possibility. So this is very interesting, and we'll see what else they publish about this, Corey Goode and David Wilcock. It'll be interesting. I've shared all I know from my remote viewing, and that's the facts that I have. Will be interesting to compare with what more they have in part 3 about this stuff. So thank you and namaste.